All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. This is Brother Azariah from W5 Jersey, Philly, coming back with another video, giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom, Shalom. All right, Lord willing, you brothers and sisters are waxing mightier and mightier in your faith, and if it be in the will of the Lord, you're increasing in your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in these last days. And like I always say, you're going to need those three things in these last days. All right. So with that being said, the topic of this video is do not, I repeat, do not allow yourself to self-destruct. All right. What do I mean by self-destructing? All right. Let me get a quick precept. All right. And I've done a video like this before in the past. All right. But we're going to do it again through the Spirit. All right, so this is Sirach 30 and verse 21. It says, give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. All right, so that's what it means to self-destruct. Because when you give yourself over to your mind, and you'll self-destruct. And a lot of people do that. All right, you see that all the time. All right, people that cut themselves. All right, they're literally self-destructing. All right. You know, they might be getting bullied at school. They might be getting bullied by their parents. You got parents out there, they bully their own children, man. All right, you're nothing. You're a menace to society. We hate you. All right. Me and your mother, we didn't even plan to have you. All right. You got people that go through that. All right. So like I said, hey, bullying from school. All right. You can be bullied by your parents. All right. You may have a low have a low social status. All right, so you may go in public and go around people, and then you're not really liked. All right, whether it's because the way you dress, the way you talk, all right, the way you look, whatever the case may be. People they self-destruct because of these certain things that I just named, and then they go and start cutting themselves. All right, they don't go into their brain and think and meditate on good things and positive things. All right, they go and say, man, to hell with this, and I hate myself, and they start slicing. All right, and they don't just slice themselves that one time and they just kill themselves. No, it happens for a long time. They give themselves over to heaviness. All right, one day may pass and they're just sad. A second day may pass, their sadness has, the level of sadness that they once had is increased and increased and increased as the days went on. And then they start slicing themselves more and more. And they might get deeper and deeper to the point where they might just go like this and then end it. Say, I want it all to be over. You see that in the world where people, like I said, they self-destruct. That's self-destructing. All right. When you let the things that you go through in the world plague your mind so much that you actually go and kill yourself. All right. Now you can spiritually do that as well. All right. Before I explain that, let me get this precept. I got to find it real quick. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. So this is the book of Sirach 38 in verse 18. It says, for of heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength. Slack you. So now this has two folds. All right, the first fold, it says, I'm gonna read it again. It says, for of heaviness cometh death. So people that sorrow and they kill themselves. All right, they may kill themselves or they may just die because of stress. All right, you got people that just stress out, so they stress themselves out so much that they just end up dying. All right, and they just end up on the deathbed. All right, so reading this one more time, it says, for of heaviness cometh death. But now spiritually, when you're giving your mind over to heaviness because of the things that you go through, all right, because in this truth, I always explain it, and I'm going to keep on saying it. You got brothers and sisters that's new, and you got brothers and sisters that just need to hear the same thing over and over and over again. All right, when you come into this truth, once you're in this truth, life isn't sweet. All right, it's not sweet. Now, in its truth, you have a phase that I like to call the honeymoon phase. All right, where everything is just smooth. All right, it seems like you just don't miss. All right, everything you do, it buds, it prospers. There's fruit to every tree that you bring forth. All right, there's every tree you bring forth, and there's a fruit yielding from that. Not a bad fruit, a fruit that's all jammed up and it's damn oozing out juices and it just looks rotten. No, you got good fruit, apples. You kind of go and grab them and eat them right then and there. Mango, all right, banana, grapes, so on and so forth. Those that have ears to hear understand what I'm saying, all right? So you may bear, these different good fruits for that course of time, all right, for that series of time. You're going to have those smooth times, like I said, that honeymoon stage. And during the honeymoon, nothing really goes bad. All right, you book a room or you book a room at some resort. And it's not, most people that go on honeymoons, they're not booking it at the motel. Then you go into the motel, it's damn roaches at the left corner of the room, and in the right corner of the room you got spiders, and then over here you got this bug, and then in the garbage you got maggots. No, they book grade A or 5-star hotels. All right, so somebody might come to your door. Do you want something to drink? Are you thirsty? Do you want us to make your bed again? All right. Do you want a new remote? The old remote is broken. Let's give you a new one. All right. Hey, the food is perfect. You go downstairs. They got Jamaican food, so-called. They got so-called Hispanic food. All right. It's going good. That's how most honeymoons go. Then you see them, they kind of at the end, of their honeymoon. Or during the honeymoon, it don't matter when it happens. And they might go on a jet ski. They jet ski, and then you see this a lot in movies. Then you see the sun setting. They kind of ride in the sunset. All right, and then everything just looks smooth. That's how this truth is. It starts off like that, and then, for example, you look at a lot of these Edomites. They go on these extravagant honeymoon trips, and everything's good. And then when they get back home and start having kids, it's a living hell. All right, they're cursing at one another. All right, they disrespect one another. All right, they don't acknowledge one another's presence sometimes. All right, all hell starts breaking loose. Hey, like I just said multiple times, hey, this is how this truth is. If you're not ready for that, then, you're not going to make it. You're not going to finish. All right, this is not for you. The truth is not for you. Because a lot of people that's weak, they go through the honeymoon stage. They go through that stage. And then things get bad and they kind of just bail out. All right? You can't be like that in this truth. All right? Because like I said, hey, these things are coming. All right? The honeymoon stage is going to come. It's going to be smooth. It's going to feel like a yellow brick road. All right? And then, you keep on walking. You walk a distance. And it's flames coming out of the ground. It's spikes in the ground. Then once you get past the flames and then you get past the spikes, you got a den of lions. Then you get past the den of lions. You got more madness going on. More hardship coming down the road. All right, and then things kind of smoothing out and they get easy again. All right. That's how this truth is. It's like a bumpy road. You have to acknowledge that. So you can't give yourself over to heaviness to the point where you just fall out. Why do you think people even fall out? All right, they don't just fall out, obviously, on a higher level, on a spiritual level, is because it's their time. The Most High, He put people in this truth and He takes them out. He plants things and then, He reaps those plants. All right, He rips them out. Those that are not profitable in His garden. That's on a spiritual level. But on a carnal level, people that leave this truth, all right, at some point in time, or at the end of their stint in this truth, they're giving their mind over to heaviness. All right? They're going through hardship. They're going through hardship, and then, you know, they kind of just get out of there. They can't take it. They can't stand it. All right, I actually know a sister, I believe I mentioned this before. I know a sister that pretty much she had a hard time figuring out what the name of the Most High was. All right, and because, you know, pretty much she was going through hell to find out what the name was, and that was one of the reasons why she kind of got out of here. All right, she gave her mind over to heaviness. You know, the thoughts that may have been running through her mind, man, what the hell is the name of the Lord? What's his name? I can't figure out his name. It's getting stressing. All right, nobody knows. Everybody's giving me this answer. Then this person give me this answer, and then that answer is like this. None of them are concrete. What do I do? Nah, this can't be the truth. And then, you know, she probably got out of here. All right, that's what happens. They catch hell. All right, they catch hell to the point where they feel like they can't take it anymore, and then they get the hell out of here and they leave. So giving your mind over to heaviness, it's dangerous because you can die, meaning you can fall out of this truth. All right? Because like the Lord said in Proverbs 21:16, I'm going to grab it real fast. All right, this is the book of Proverbs 21 and verse number 16, and it reads. All right, this is Proverbs 21:16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So if you leave this truth, if you leave, or if you wander from the congregation, it says the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding. So if you come out of this understanding, you wander out, it says, shall remain in the congregation of the dead, meaning you're amongst the dead. All right, you're not just amongst the dead walking around, you're woke and they're dead. No, that means you're one of the dead corpses that's in the graveyard. All right, you have become dead. You have waxed old and you fainted, and now you're dead. Now you're just corpse and dust and ashes. You can do that to yourself. Plague your mind so bad, all right, to the point where you die. Well, that's something you have to avoid. All right, and how do you avoid that? Let's get this precept real quick. All right, because it's easy. I'm gonna start off with Sirach 11:22. Because when you're going through hell, it's easy to just feel sad and give your mind over to heaviness. It's easy to do that because being that you're in this flesh, anytime you're falling short or anything bad is going on in your life, or I'm gonna put it like this: anytime you're going through any trials in your life, and guess who's there? Satan, the spiritual demon Satan. All right, he's gonna get in your head and say, look what you just did. You're worthless. Look at you. You just keep effing up. You can't get nothing right. All right, he's going to say that. He's not going to uplift you. Say, okay, brother, it's all good. Just get up and repent. All right, be better next time. Fight harder. All right, punch harder. Give yourself a chance. He's not going to say that. All right, he's going to say, stop swinging. You ain't getting nowhere anyway. All right, just fall. Just faint. It's easy to listen to Satan and just, you know, just whimper and shrivel up and shrink up. It's harder to flee those thoughts. It's hard to do that, but you got to do it at the end of the day. All right, this is the book of Sirach 11, and I'm going to start at verse 22. Actually, verse 25. This Sirach 11 and 25. It says, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And you see that all the time. All right, when you're at the top, you don't remember the bottom. All right. For example, I always use them rappers, all right, or anybody that's famous, but particularly these rappers. A lot of these rappers, they come from humble beginnings, and then once they get rich and they get all these different plaques, or they get platinum CDs or platinum albums, their album go platinum, or their album may go gold, their album may go silver, whatever the case may be. They start looking at all these plaques and saying, damn, this is me. They start looking at these plaques and they think they start to actually become those plaques. All right, they start becoming platinum albums. All right, when they look at themselves in the mirror, they don't look at somebody that came from the streets, that came from the hood, that didn't have nothing, had roaches in their grandma's house. All right, you know, have roaches. had roaches in their grandma's house, starving. Sometimes they didn't eat. Sometimes their mother or father may not have eaten. They don't remember the times where it was the winter and they ain't have no heat. It was summer, they didn't have no AC. They don't remember none of that. They look in the mirror and they see those plaques and say, I'm a gold album. I'm a platinum album. I'm a platinum album seller. That's who they look at themselves as. They don't say, man, you know, I used to catch hell. All right. You notice they don't do that. And even another example, I don't know if most of you may or may not watch basketball. But for those that watch basketball, I'm a basketball fan myself. So on Instagram or even Facebook or YouTube, if you go on these platforms, all right, you'll see a player. There's a player named something Murray. I forget his name. He used to play for the Spurs. All right. So now he's playing. I seen a video of him playing at like a AAU he was playing in an AAU type environment. All right. You know, they got summer league games and things like that. He was playing there. Now I seen multiple videos, not of just this one instance, but multiple videos of different instances where he's doing the same action. All right. He'll get the basketball off the inbound. All right, well, one video he did this. He caught the basketball off an inbound, and then the player that, you know, put the ball up and missed the layup, he took the ball and smacked him on his head with it. All right, and then another video I seen, he was playing basketball, and obviously he had a defender guarding him. He took the ball and smacked him on his head with the ball for no reason. That's not humble. That's proud. Why do you think he's smacking them with the basketball? Because he thinks that he's above them. You see, he doesn't, in his mind, he's not thinking, in that moment, he's not thinking about how that defender that he just hit in the head with the basketball, that used to be him. That used to be him trying to just make it. All right, because remember, these basketball stars that's playing in these little summer leagues, they're playing against people that's trying to come up. See, but him smacking the player on the head with the basketball and not just tapping on his head, like actually hitting him on the head, that's proud. He's not remembering his bottom. That's why the Lord said, I'm going to read it again. It says, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. See, he forgot that defender that he just hit in the head with the ball, that used to be him. That player that put the or tried to lay the ball up and missed, and then he hit him on the head with the ball, that player that got hit with the ball, that used to be him. He was in that same position. But when people are in prosperity, they don't forget, they don't remember affliction. And brothers and sisters in this truth do that as well. All right? You know, when everything's going good, you don't remember the bad times. You don't look at the bad times. You don't remember them. You don't care for them. You put them at the side. You say, hey, guess what? Look, you know, everything's going good. I don't want to remember the past because I don't want the past to come back. But I don't want to be at the bottom no more. I don't want to feel lowly. All right? I don't want to deal with any trials and tribulations anymore. I don't want to see that. Let's put that in the back. Kind of stuff it in the trunk. No, you can't stuff it in the trunk. You got to keep it in your rear view mirror. All right? You see, when you're looking in your rear view mirror, you see everything that's behind you. Yeah, it's behind you, you know, but hey, guess what? It's still there. You can see it and you remember it. It doesn't escape your memory. Or you have to look at your old trials and tribulations in your rear view mirror, and you got to always and constantly remember. All right? You can't forget, because once you forget, you become proud. And then once you become proud, and then one thing doesn't go your way, now you don't understand understand how to survive in that situation. Because now you're like a spoiled brat that's never been told no. And then when a spoiled brat, when you tell them no, they just get crazy. They don't know how to control. They have no self-constraint. All right? They have no self-control. You can't let that be you. All right? You're in prosperity, and then your trials hit. Then you acting like the kid that's never been told no. Now you're a bastard child. You have to understand, hey, the Lord is going to put you through trials and tribulations. You're going to go through things. That's a part of life. And especially in these last days, that's what you must expect, to go through trials and tribulations. You can't expect things to be easy. If your expectations are that, or that things are going to be easy, then you've been taught wrong. All right? Let me get this one precept, and we're going to come back to this in Sirach. All right, this is the book of Sirach 16 and verse number 22. It says, who can declare the works of his justice, or who can endure them? For his covenant is afar off, and the trial of all things is in the end. And we constantly say that this is the end. We physically can see that it's the end. You spiritually feel that it is the end. All right? Because of the things that you're going through. This is the end. The Lord said the trial of all things is in the end. So you got to expect hardship. So even when you're feeling great in the spirit, all right, you got to remember those times where you weren't feeling so good in the spirit. All right? So let's finish this off in Sirach 11 and 25. It says, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there is no remembrance of prosperity. And that's another problem. You see, when people get afflicted, they don't remember prosperity. All right? You catching hell, and then you don't remember what state you used to be in. Are you just dwelling on right now? I'm catching hell right now. That's what I'm going to meditate on. No, you have to have a type of foundation. All right. Now, when you're in prosperity, as you said, look, you got to remember the times of your affliction. And when you're being afflicted, you have to remember the time of your prosperity. That is going to be your foundation. All right. That's going to be your, aside from Eve being a pillar of rest, hey, that's going to be your pillar of rest. That's something you can always lean on when you need it. Because when you're being afflicted, you need to remember when you're in prosperity. That's going to get you through the hard times. And when you're in prosperity, you have to remember affliction. You have to remember when you didn't have anything. That's going to get you through your prosperity. All right, that's your foundation. In this truth, you have to have, in this truth, you have to have a foundation. All right, let's get this in the book of Luke, the 14th chapter. All right, this is the book of Luke 14 and verse 28. And it reads, it says, for which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he had sufficient to finish it? Lest happily, after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. All right. See, so you can't build yourself up and not finish. All right. And sometimes, you may build yourself up and you collapse. But when you collapse, you have to collapse into that foundation. All right. When you build a house, you build the house, or even your bathroom. All right. Say you have your bathroom, right? And then you destroy the walls. You break the walls down, and everything that's materialistic that's in here, whether it be the toilet, whether it be the sink, whether it be the cupboard, whether it be your pictures, whether it be a light, all those things, you break that down, and then you break down the walls. What do you have? You have your foundation, and you use your foundation to build. All right, why? Because your foundation has an outline. Just like I explained in the bathroom, hey, you look at the ground. There's an edge, all right? There's lines. There's a border where you build upon the border, all right? You're not just building anywhere and just putting anything anywhere, all right? You can't put the bathroom door in the middle of the bathroom. That doesn't even make any sense, all right? That makes no sense. You have to put the door where? On the border on the border. You have to put the door on the border, on the outskirts, all right? So even when you're depleted, you have nothing, you feel like you have nothing, look, guess what? You have that foundation to build from. No matter what, you got to have that foundation. Because if not, then now you got to build the foundation. Now Now it's like you just started the whole truth all over again. You don't want to start the whole truth all over again when you fall. All right? You damn learning everything that you already had learned in the past. I mean, that's unprofitable, because you're going to fall a lot in this truth. So every time you fall, you're going to start from the very beginning. No. You have to have a foundation. Look, all right, I got the foundation. I'm going to build upon the foundation. All right? And when you're in affliction, and your foundation is your days of prosperity, you have to look at the things that the Most High has done for you, all right, and say, look, hey, even in the times of affliction, hey, I'm going to believe in the Lord. All right? When I feel like I have nothing else, guess what? I'm going to believe in the Lord. When I feel like I have nobody around me, guess what? I'm going to believe in the Lord. You have to banish those wicked thoughts, all right? Them evil thoughts that overthrow man. You can't give yourself to heaviness, man. All right? When all hell breaking loose, you're just sad. No, you have to lean upon that foundation. All right? For example, me, hey, I do the same thing. There's certain dreams that I may have had in the past when I first came in the truth. When I first came in the truth, there's like, or I'll say my first year in the truth, there's about 6 or 7 dreams that I had when I first came into the truth, or my first year in the truth. I had 7 dreams that I had, or around there, you know, where the Lord He delivered me, where there's chariots, there's destruction going on, World War III is literally happening, famine is happening, people around me are being taken off of the face of the earth, and He always had me surviving those dreams. See, now in the times of my affliction, I don't just say, oh, the Lord, He's not dealing with me. No, my foundation are those dreams. Even in times past, there's times where, hey, I wanted a particular job, and I'm speaking of when I was in the truth, my first year in the truth. There's times in that year where, look, I needed a job. I didn't have no job. I didn't have no income. And I had a car. I had to pay for, but I didn't have no money. And it looked scary. It looked a little grim. All right? But then, He helped me out. Now, when I have financial problems, I go back to my foundation again. Look, my first year in the truth, I didn't have a job. I needed things to pay for. I had things I had to pay for. And look, the Most High, He answered my prayer, and I got a job, and I was able to pay for the things that I need to pay for. That's my foundation. In this truth, you have to always have a foundation, like I said, and your foundation is the things, in this instance, is the things that the Most High has done for you in times past. You see, because if you start to forget what the Lord has done for you in times past, I mean, now you're being ungrateful. And you don't want to be ungrateful. All right, because the Lord, He could just take He could look at you and say, look, you being ungrateful. He can snatch your damn spirit away from you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. All right? So let me read this one more time. This is Sirach. Actually, I'm going to get another precept. All right? So this is the book. All right, bear with me one second. This is the book of Sirach 18 and verse 25. It says, when thou hast enough, remember the time of hunger. So as I just explained, look, when you have enough, remember the time of hunger. Hey, look, that's your foundation. All right? And you use that to guide you through your prosperity. You see, a lot of times, I was actually just talking to a brother about this. A lot of times, for example, you may hit the lottery for $1 million. All right, you hit the lottery for $1 million, and then 5 months later, the whole $1 million is gone. It's finished. All right, and then sometimes, and you may go to the store. You may go to the store and you only got $20. You only got $20 to your name. You go to the store. You get, you go to the register and you pay for a scratch off, or you buy a scratch off. The scratch off It was $1 scratch off. That's all you had to spare. All right, you couldn't, some people buy $20 scratch offs, $50 scratch off. Hey, look, you only had $1 to give. So you give that $1, then you start scratching. It's kind of looking bad. All right, the first few scratches, it's looking like you didn't hit nothing. All right, and you keep scratching, and then you kind of see that you hit something, and you only hit for $20. All right, now you only had $20, and then you got another $20 on top of it, and that $40 ends up lasting you for that whole week. Sometimes people, stretch that thing out, and it's hard to stretch out $40 in a week. I'm gonna tell you that now. All right, I'm sure y'all brothers and sisters know that. All right, but look, you was able to stretch that out for a week, and that's longer than most people could. Or say you stretch it out for 2 weeks. I'll even say that. All right, now what's the difference between you stretching out that $40 you had for 2 weeks and as long as you possibly could, and then that $1 million you hit for, and then you spent it within a month or 5 months or even 2 weeks? I'll say you spent that all in 2 weeks, but yet you kept the $40 for 2 weeks. All right, why is it that you spent that $1 million so fast? Because you didn't remember the times of hunger. But you see, when you had that $40, you made that thing stretch longer than it should have stretched for. Why? Because you were in a situation or the moment of hunger when you didn't have enough. All right, you needed more. You kind of got more. You got the $20, but you didn't really have it to just blow it. You see, you understood, look, hey, this is my last $40. I got to hold this in my pocket. See, when you get that $1 million, you got to do the same thing. All you got to look and say, look, I remember I had $40. I had to stretch that out. Look, I'm going to keep this $1 million. I'm going to stretch this thing out. So as he said, when thou hast enough, remember the time of hunger. So you got to, when you're at a higher state, look, you got to remember your most humblest times. Reading on, it says, and when thou art rich, think upon poverty. All right, it says, and when thou art rich, think upon poverty and need. That's playing upon tables. All right, so again, as I said, and you have to have this foundation, and again, when you're in poverty, look, your foundation is your times where you are at your best, you are at your peak. All right, and then once you're at your peak, your foundation is the times when you were at your lowest. All right, you have to always self-reflect and look at those two different times and meditate on those two different times of your life, both the good times and the bad times. You see, during the good times, the bad things, they're going to get you through the good times. And then when you're going through bad things, look, the good times are going to get you through your bad times. If you got ears to hear, you're going to have understanding. All right? So as I explained earlier, why I opened up with this precept, I'm going to go back to it one more time. This Sirach 30:21, it says, give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. So in this truth, you don't want to do that. Do not give yourself over to heaviness. Do not self-destruct yourself. All right? So Lord willing, this video was edifying to at least one brother or even to one sister. With that, I'm going to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which the world calls God, and Yahweh Shai, which the world calls Jesus Christ. And with that, Kwam Yashala. Shalom.